What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Is There No One Else? I am here today bringing you my way too early Stamina Nightblade build for Clockwork City. I've been testing for Clockwork City, as you guys know. I've been testing for about the last 2 weeks now. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to run on my Nightblade, what sets, everything. The sets haven't changed, but before I go into what we're running differently, I just want to explain my reasoning for why I'm choosing what I'm choosing. I will come up with alternatives as well, but in general, the changes that they made this patch is, you can no longer use shuffle on a heavy armor build. You need to have 5 medium equipped to run it. Now, this is a huge change. In order to get the dodge chance, you need to be in medium. I think that's a great change. They also got rid of the Wrath passive for heavy armor, so you can't get the 200 weapon damage when you're getting attacked. Very good changes. Heavy armor needed to come back down to earth. Very good stuff. With that being said, though, there are just too many skills that hit way too hard for me to want to run medium armor on my Stamina Nightblade. I have in the past. I can do it. I can be more cloaky. I can be more stealthy. I can still 1vx in medium. That's not the issue. You can become more of a glass cannon. But in general, there are just too many things that pull you out of stealth. DKs have inhale. They have talons. There's inner light for everybody. Templars can pull you out with jabs, inner light. Death royalties will pull you out. Every once in a while, though, for a long time, like a heavy attack with a resto staff is pulling you out. Soul assault will keep you out for 2.5 seconds. Cloak just isn't a reliable defense, in my opinion, in a lot of fights. And so I don't like trying. I use it, I have it, but I don't crutch on cloak when I play my Stamina Nightblade. That's just my play style. That's just how I've come to find it. But doing that means that I will then have to run. If I run heavy armor, it means I don't run shuffle. And shuffle isn't. Nightblades have dodge chance. You can run. What's that skill called? Nightblades do have dodge chance already with double take in their skill line. It's blur right here. So if you wanted to, you could run double take and you could get major expedition and you could get your dodge chance if you wanted to do that. But the thing is you don't need the dodge chance. I don't think any class really needs it. The biggest issue is the snare immunity. Being locked down in talons, the soft CCs, the hard CCs, people throwing shrouded daggers at you, everything in their everybody seems to have an ability that either soft CCs you, hard CCs you, or snares you. And that's the problem with running heavy armor this next patch. And so, this is going to be my long-winded point before I can get to the build video. If you run heavy armor this patch, you need to find ways around it, around what you're doing. My Stam DK, I already don't run shuffle on my Stam DK because I'm so tanky, I don't need it. Having the dodge chance and the snare immunity doesn't matter when I'm that slow. So I don't run shuffle, I don't need it. My Stam DK is good. My Stamplar, I'm going to be able to run Purify still. I will be running Purify. I'll be able to purify all the snares that way. I'll just add another DPS skill. Maybe I'll add a little bit more recovery so I can dodge roll when I'm really taking some heat, or I can block cast a little bit more. But in general, my Stamplar is going to be okay. Stam Sork, I'll probably add a little bit more magic or recovery in general so that I can streak a little bit more, be able to get my dark deals off, all that. I'm going to have to go, back to the drawing board for that because I'm not exactly sure what I want to run on my Stam Sork. And then Wardens already have a passive that reduces the duration of snares on them, so they'll be okay. So that's why I want to do the Nightblade first. With all that being said, as far as my reasoning for wearing heavy armor, let's dive into the sets. It's the same as last patch. We're running 5 Shackle Breaker. We're running 5 Bone Pirates. The sets haven't changed. Bone Pirates is still the best 5-piece for a Nightblade in the game. Hulking Draugr is close, but it's not better. There are a few sets that are close and not better. Shackle Breaker is amazing. Gives you stamina and magic recovery. The reason we're running this is because we will be running a Magicka skill to eliminate snares for us. And so Shackle Breaker is the best for this. We get a lot of stamina and magicka, and we get magicka and stamina recovery. That little bit in a heavy armor build does come in handy. We're running 3 Bone Pirates Jewelry, all weapon damage. We're going to be running a Maelstrom. This will be slotted for the Asylum weapon. I'll be using the Asylum weapon when I get it. We are also running these poisons that drain health and restore health to you. Increased healing on a Nightblade is good. This set provides good pressure, but it also provides good healing. Very useful poison. And then on our back bar, right now it has a powered Master's Bow. Now, they are changing these enchants. What they're going to do is this enchant is now going to count as a trait for a gear set. And so you will not be able to enchant over this increase your weapon damage by 301 against targets affected. But you will lose out on the stamina. And so what they're allowing you to do is you can enchant and you can add a weapon damage onto this enchant that provides weapon damage. And so next patch, when I'm allowed to retrait, I have another Master's Bow. I'm going to retrait it to Infused and put a weapon damage enchant on my back bar, which will do about 500, 550-ish weapon damage, plus this 301. So if I do a light attack, poison injection, wait for the poison injection to go off, for 5 seconds I'll have the 500 weapon damage. For the remaining 10 seconds, I'll have this poison injection. And so I will have a lot more burst next patch due to that change. So the Master's Bow is going to be even better due to that one simple thing. I'm not sure if Infused or Powered is going to be better for this specific build, but I have Powered right now. I'm going to put a weapon damage enchant on this, and then I'm going to switch my other one to Infused, put a weapon damage enchant on that, and then play around and see which one I like. But they're both very good. As far as skills go, this is where it's different. Instead of Shuffle, we are now running Efficient Purge. Now, Efficient Purge is the cheaper morph of Purge. It's found in the support skill line. With this, I will show it to you later, but basically what it says is cleanse yourself and your group, removing 2 negative effects and reducing the duration of any further negative effects by 50% for 6 seconds. So, this can reduce snares for you. If you're snared and locked in place, you could use this. If it doesn't reduce that specific snare, it does reduce the effect of it by 50%. Now, I've tried 2 different ways to go about running heavy armor on a Stamina Nightblade. The first one was running 7th Legion in Bone Pirates with forward momentum instead of rally. And then I was running siphoning attacks on my back bar. So I had increased sustain every time I light or heavy attacked. I got some health, I got some resources back. So I supplemented some of my healing issues by not having the burst heal of rally. You know, forward momentum removes snares, but you miss out on the burst heal that rally provides. It worked out okay with the poisons I was running, with 7th Legion having a heal, the poisons having the heal, and on top of that, siphoning attacks giving me heals. It worked out okay, but there were some times where I was just on the run, like I couldn't really get my light attacks off, I couldn't proc my poison. So when I was on the defensive, like really trying to stay alive, I couldn't stay alive as well, so I had some very frustrating moments. So I decided to try this. It does look expensive, I can assure you that it's not, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but we're running Efficient Purge on our back bar, we're running Relentless Focus, 8% more damage, Stamina Recovery, Shadowy Disguise to guarantee a crit, Poison Injection, very good dot, Resolving Vigor, and Ballista. This is going to be our ultimate for heavier or tankier people that we really need to burst down quickly. We're also running Incapacitating Strike on our front bar. Incap is just a very, very strong ultimate in this game. Still is. They haven't changed it. It's ridiculous. Surprise Attack, Mass Hysteria, Rally, Ambush, and Reverse Slice. Now, I have the Master's Greatsword on, but like I said, the Asylum weapon will be going on here because the ulti regen is going to be really nice when you're finishing people off. Like, as a Stam Nightblade, hitting people with a light attack, poison injection to get that extra burst, in cap, and then you finish them with an Executioner, you could easily be rattling off 10, 12, 14 ultimate every single time you're doing that. Then you pop a potion, you get 20 ultimate, you get ultimate off a kill. Like, the potential for Nightblade's next patch for 1vxing is very, very high. It's already like one of, if not the best solo class in the game. It's going to be even better next patch with the Asylum weapon. So, yeah, that's what's to look forward to as far as our CP tree. We are running tripods. We have to run tripods with this specific setup. We are running 44 into Warlord, 64 Mooncalf, 32 into Tenacity, 19 into Befoul, 61 into Tumbling, 19 into Blessed, 61 Master at Arms for our direct damage attacks, 8 into Physical Weapon Expert, 64 Mighty, 5 Piercing, 40 Precise Strikes, 23 into Thaumaturge. Next patch I'm going to take probably about 14, 15 out of this. I'm going to put the rest into Piercing. We do put quite a bit into Precise Strikes because with Shadowy Disguise we can guarantee a crit. We can also guarantee crit heals, so increasing our damage and healing is still valuable even though we're in heavy armor. That's why we have so many points in there. 48 in Ironclad, very valuable, 20 into Resistant, 49 Hardy, 49 Elemental Defender, 22 Thick-Skinned, 32 into Quick Recovery. Like I said, tripods. We are not a vampire. You could run a vampire. I don't like the negatives of it. I don't think it outweighs the positive, or I don't think it outweighs the positives for a stamina class, but I'll go back and try it again. Dubious Cameron Throne is our drink. Gives us the most burst that we need. And then Serpent Mundus. As far as our stats go, fully buff up. Sitting at 2,900 weapon damage, 39,000 stamina, 17,000 health outside of PvP. In PvP, it's 22,500, 23, somewhere around there. 2,400 stamina recovery, 12,340 magicka. Now, if I take my potion, buff up, we have 861 magicka recovery, 2,700 stamina recovery, 2,900 weapon damage. Keep in mind, this isn't going to count next patch. It's missing out on the 300 weapon damage that we have with the bow. It's also missing out at the 500 we're going to have with our enchant. So we are going to have 3,700 weapon damage for quick short bursts next patch with this build on top of 3,900 max stamina. It's going to be very hard hitting. Our resistances, that's unbuffed. If we buff them, we now have 21,000 resistances, 2,340 crit resist. We're very tanky. We're running a powered bow currently, so our heals are pretty good. And now we are also running Efficient Purge, which removes dots. Now, I wanted to show this to you guys for this reason. Our magic recovery with a potion pop, which is where it's going to be at all the time, is going to be 800 magic recovery. With the Constitution passive, if you look at this right here, guys, you restore 108 magic and stamina each when you take damage for each piece of heavy armor equipped. This effect can occur once every 4 seconds. So, every 4 seconds, I get 541 stamina and magicka. So it turns out to be 270 magicka and stamina recovery, roughly, with this setup. So, fully buffed, I have about 1,000, 1,100 magicka recovery. And so when I take my potion, I'm at 925 plus the 2, like I said, I'm sitting at around 1,100 magicka recovery, counting the Constitution passive. So in a fight, I will have 1,100 magicka recovery-ish with this setup. I get a little bit extra magicka running Shackle Breaker. I will get a little bit extra magicka recovery. Trust me, it does make a difference with the amount of times you can hit Efficient Purge. So, if I can get out of here and it says prevent attacking targets by hitting Purify, hold on 1 second. So if you watch, I can rattle off Efficient Purges rather quickly. Now keep in mind, like, you don't need to rattle them off like this when you take a couple dots or when you get snared. You hit this, typically Nightblades don't need Efficient Purge to survive. Now we get to remove dots and it lowers our snares. I've been playing around with this for like the last 3 days. It's pretty damn good. In some ways it's better than running Shuffle, because now when we have people applying dots on us, if we get hit by oils, if we get hit by multiple people running poison injection, if we get hit by mark and we want to get away, we can now purify. And now, for 6 seconds, we have 50% reduced snare and effect immunity. And then we can apply another one, And so you can see here we actually have decent magic recovery to where we can rattle these off quite a bit. It's not unlimited purges, but it's definitely good enough to pull off, in my opinion. Very strong. If I run this in medium armor, I would be running 5 Shackle Breaker, 2 Bone Pirates, or 5 Bone Pirates, 2 Heavy, 5 Medium. I'd probably just go that route. Instead of running Efficient Purge, I'd be running Shuffle. But honestly, guys, I think this is very powerful. It's not much different from what I was running last patch. It's just now instead of Dodge Chance, we now have something that removes dots and snares. And, you know, Nightblades don't have a ton of healing, so removing damage over time effects that can hurt us actually is quite valuable. So this isn't, you know, we can still purge, we can still cloak, pop a potion, back up to full resources, we can cloak some more, we can hit purge again. You know, I hit 2 cloaks, I hit purge. Like it's quite a bit of recovery. This isn't even with me in combat. If I was in combat, I'd have even more of a return. So this is going to be my counter for next patch. I think I explained everything. If I missed something, please let me know. Please comment in the section below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.